I was born in Israel to a Romanian family from my mother's side that have survived the Holocaust in Romania, and to my father, which was an Israeli born, but his father's family were massacred in Poland in the Holocaust. I was born in Israel, and at the age of 18, I went to study medicine. I studied and graduated at the Technion in Haifa as a medical doctor and joined the army at 1993, back in the far history. And I started as a battalion doctor and then a brigade doctor. But on the first month of my military service, I've already been stationed in Lebanon with Golani troops and with my medics. On the way, my medic coming immediately after me got hit by a missile and was killed immediately. And that's how I started my military career. In the same year, in the same first year, I had a guy called Daniel Seresh who was killed by suicide in the battalion. So meeting with these two great soldiers, Gadi Lipsky, my medic, and Daniel Seresh, I started to understand the importance of fighting against trauma. I found out that most soldiers can cope with physical wounds and can cope with the hardship of being in military, but could not cope that well with the trauma. In such a long career, we have a lot of highlights. But if I can mention the suicide prevention program that lowered the rates by far of suicides in the military. And you can see that during the last 10 years, it dropped by over 50%. And if you look only at the last 5 years, it dropped by more than 60%. And I had the privilege to use the methods that we've learned and the experience that I've gained in several occasions. In the Philippines, I've been a part in the humanitarian mission hospital of the IDF. We helped them a lot in reopening the educational system and working with the children to prevent future trauma. I think the last thing I would mention here is that I had the privilege to work with, I think, the longest time prisoner of war in the Israeli history, Gilad Shalit, that was kept on Hamas captivity for 5.5 years. And I had the privilege to be the first mental health officer and his psychiatrist for the first times immediately after coming back from captivity, to meet him at the border, to escort him through the coming back, the meeting with the family, the meeting with the whole media of Israel that, just wanted to get into his life, and escorting him on the first few months of coming back to the real society and to the freedom, which was a great experience. And I also had the great privilege of meeting in the Israeli consulate with Bishop Ulmer, which I found to be a community leader, a true community leader, and a man of vision. And we talked a lot about the vision of how to prevent post-trauma. And hearing my ideas from the IDF on the primary and the early secondary prevention, he said, that's what we want. And ever since, we're working together on building this wonderful and very interesting, and I hope a society changer program of the Ulmer Institute, the TUI, which will take the traumatized society and to take that and to try and change it from underneath by treating better the post-trauma, by putting the trauma as the center topic, and to make people understand what the mishaps that can grow out of trauma in order to prevent it, and to educate better the kids on what to do and how to prevent the post-trauma. And slowly, gradually, because it takes time to change society and to better the society they grow kids in.